Avih sannihitam guhacharannama mahat padam tatraitat samarpitam yejat pranan nimishacha yedetat janata sadasat varenyam param vijnanadyadvarishtham prajanam. Avih sannihitam guhacharannama mahat padam tatraitat samarpitam yejat pranan nimishacha yedetat janatha sadasatvarenyam param vijnanatyadvarishtham prajanam. Avihi, effulgent. This is effulgent. Sannihitam, very close, man. And here it's sannihitam, very close. Guhacharan. It is known to be moving in the cavity of the heart. It resides in the cavity of the heart. Mahat, it is great. Padam, it is a supporter. That which moves, yejat, breathes, pranat, blinks, nimishat. Yejat, pranat, nimishat. Moving, it moves, breathes, and blinks, are samarpitam, are established in it. What is it? That which moves, that which breathes, that which blinks, are established in Brahman. I'll explain, don't worry. Why is it talking of suddenly blinking and winking? Don't worry, yeah? Don't blink nor winking. Don't blink, you might miss something. That to be, know that, janat. Janat means you know. Arey, pata karo yaar. Janat, know that. Yet, janat yet, know that. Know what? To be existent and non-existent. Sat, asat. Varenyam, worshipful. The inconceivable form. Inconceivable, supreme, sorry. It is supreme, it's inconceivable. It is the Lord of all beings. Varishtham prajanam. Varishtham means highest. Prajanam means beings. Avih means effulgent, bright, brilliant. Now, if you carefully noted the theme of the previous section, the section 1, the mantras 1 to 10, the theme was where he said everything has emerged from Brahman. Everything has come from Brahman. The microcosm and the macrocosm, everything has emerged from Brahman. Now, in this section, he is saying that all that has emerged from Brahman is actually sustained and supported by Brahman. So it's emerged, and this section he says it is sustained. So here he is describing Brahman. This is effulgent, bright and brilliant. As you see the world out, which is bright and brilliant, you go out into the world, now you see it's bright and brilliant. Unless you're in the other part of the world, it's dark and gloomy. Nah, I'm not talking to those people. In this part of the hemisphere, we go out, it's bright. The summer is going to shine. Sun is shining, it's summer, so hot, we can't even take a look at the sun. It's bright, brilliant. So just like the brilliance of the manifested world, that Brahman also is brilliant, he says. Avi Sannihitam. Something which is very close to your heart. It is very dear to you. It is your innermost core. Something which is innermost have to be very minute and small, no? If I have a doll house, and if I'm putting a fridge in the doll house, how big will be the fridge? Oh, the doll fridge in the doll house must be very small. If I am only 5 feet 5 inches, in the innermost core of myself is the Atman. How small would be? Oh, maybe very minute, very insignificant. To counter that, contrary to that, he says the next word, Mahat. It is great. Which means it is there in the very inner, it is there in the furthermost. If you remember in the previous section in the 9th mantra, he said it's there in the mountains, it's there in the flora, it's there in the clouds, it's there everywhere, he said. The macrocosm. So the same macrocosm, it is there in the very core. So it is inside, very close to you. It is moving in the very heart of your personality. It's there everywhere within you. It's all out there. Mahat Padam. Padam means it is a supporter. It is like the pizza base on which you put toppings. Without the base, how can you put toppings? Harish, now what is the pizza base and what is the topping? Easy question for you. When was it last you had a pizza?
Maybe about a week ago.
Not bad. I thought you would have said yesterday night.
No, not so often.
Not so often. Okay. Now, what is the pizza base and what is the topping?
It is the base would be the core, right, Guruji?
I'm asking you, don't ask me back. You're supposed to answer, not ask question back to the Guru.
Sorry. The core,
Accepted.
the pizza base is the core. The topping is what's out there, basically. What just complements the base. But the actual dough of the pizza is the core.
The Brahman is the base. The toppings is the world. You can't, the toppings cannot stand, cannot be held without the base. You need the base to put the toppings, isn't it?
Yeah.
Understood. The point is, we are being told because you don't see the base. What are you seeing? You are seeing the manifested world. You are seeing the effulgent world. You are carried away with the world, not realizing this is just the topping. This is just the superficial aspect. The real substance is Brahman. You are forgetting that. Therefore, these gurus are constantly saying, don't disregard that supporter. Don't disregard the base. Don't disregard that which is the essential. You are only carried away with the non-essential, man. Ave Sannihitam Mahat Padam. And then he says, wonderful, Harish. And then, so continue to keep eating pizza. At least to be reminded of Mundaka Upanishad. At least next you read Mundaka Upanishad. When you eat pizza, you will think of Mundaka Upanishad. At least that way you will do some manana. I don't know how much reflection you're doing, but at least pizza will be a means for your reminder. See, remember I told you last week, those days or the previous couple of weeks I was telling where should relate to the text through the activities that they perform. Then he says, that which moves, breathes and blinks. What is it that always we have learned that Brahman is all pervading, isn't it? Brahman, the standard definitions of Brahman or the concept of understanding Brahman is immovable, Brahman is unmanifest, Brahman is all pervading. So anything which is all pervading, Arudama, anything which is all pervading, can it move?
No, no, Guruji.
Anything which is all pervading cannot move, right?
Yes, Guruji.
So Brahman is unmanifest, Brahman is all pervading, which makes it immovable. Are we okay there?
Yes, Guruji.
But then, yes, that's very clear. And then he says that which moves. What is it that moves?
Brahman is manifest in all of us, in all living beings everywhere. And all of us are able to move around.
Perfect. So the manifested Brahman moves. The unmanifested Brahman is immovable. So Brahman, which manifests in living beings, moves. Where there's life, there's expression of life, there is movement. So Brahman is moving in all living beings. And then he says, moves, breathes, and blinks. So the living beings breathe. You can take reference to the animal kingdom. Manifested Brahman moves, talking in general living beings. What is it that breathes refers to the animal kingdom. And then blinks refers to intelligence, which is referred to humans. So blinking is associated with human beings, not with animals, because do you know that animals don't blink? Like we humans need to blink, animals don't blink. They don't need to blink. So there is a subtle reference to humans. So that which moves obviously refers to living beings. And living beings, animal breeds, blinks refers to the intelligence, which is referred to humans. Know that to be existent and non-existent. So, Arama, that to be existent and non-existent, that obviously refers to Brahman. It is existent to whom and non-existent to whom?
For people who do not know about Brahman, for the ignorant people.
And existent to?
To those who know about Brahman, those have knowledge about the divinity. Those on the spiritual path, Guruji, those worship
You can
him.
say so. Correct. Those who are, as we used the concept earlier, those who are in the introverted path, those who are introverted rather, for them, Brahman exists. For all of us who are in the spiritual journey, we are seeking the truth, Brahman exists for us. But for a person who's extroverted, who is worshipping or who is reveling in the world, does Brahman exist for him? It's non-existent. He's only chasing desires, making millions, running after the world. I want name, I want power, I want status, I want to amass wealth, I want to protect what I've acquired. What a constant headache. You have acquired Constant worry. Is my tenant taking care of my property well? Is he paying my this rent well? I've got a parcel of land. Hope someone doesn't come and occupy it and say it's mine. Why are you constant acquisition and constant worry? Your worry is because you want to keep it to yourself. Your own attachment causes the worry. You have no attachment. That doesn't mean you say you write it off to somebody. I'm not saying that. Don't mistake me. Then you say, oh, whom you write it to me, no? Or to the ashram, no? You say, you have a very crooked head, Guruji. I have no crooked head. I don't want anything. I am only trying to tell you your attachment to it is causing you worry and insecurity. Why are you attached to it? Non-existent to the extroverted, to the ignorant, Brahman is very much existent. It exists. It is as real as the world to the enlightened. You see the world as very real. An enlightened sees Brahman as real as you and I see the world. Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. See, even if for a serious seeker, Brahman means everything. No? For him means that I want to invoke Brahman. First thing in the morning, I get up, I want to invoke Brahman within me. Pratasmarami. Resamspra Atma Tattvam. The Atma Tattvam, the Tattvam in the essence of my heart, I want to invoke the Brahman. Where? Early morning, I want to do that. That is the real world for a spiritual aspirant. For a fellow who is caught up in avidya, for him there is no Brahman, there is nothing, non-existent. Worshipful, it has to be worshipped. It is so divine, it has to be worshipped. The inconceivable, supreme. It is not something which you can comprehend it. It is so pure, so subtle, you can't comprehend it. Surpassing all beings. Harishtam, Varishtam, highest. Varishtam Prajanam. It is beyond all beings. Means it's something so great. As I've told you, the greatness of a person is measured by what? Subhaji. The greatness of a person is measured by what, sir?
His spirituality is, I think, he can be measured by his spiritual, how much he is spiritual, and that is his personality.
How do you know? How do you know how spiritual a person is? It's not easy to know, sir.
Yeah, it is difficult to understand because it is only you can know yourself how much spiritual you are. You cannot know, cannot see others how much spiritual they are.
It's difficult to know. You're right, very right. But if you want to know the greatness of a person, how do you know it?
How much kind he is, how he is living.
Sir, I would want you to think in the thought flow, sir. If you can, if in the thought we were saying, we said Brahman has to be worshipped. It is only worshipped by the introverted people. The extroverted people worship the world.
Right.
It doesn't exist for them. This was the line of thought. And then I concluded by saying it is surpassing all beings. It is something great, too great beyond anything that a human being knows about. And then I asked this question, made a statement, the greatness of the person is measured by what? So this is the line of thought. So in this line of thought, if you can think along, or even the opposite is also same. The smallness of a person is measured by what? How small a person is, or how great a person is measured by what?
Desires.
Now again, how do I know your desire? How do you know my desire?
Who is following the principles of Vedas? He can be, whether he is non-violent, he is a true person, he is not possessing more than what he requires, like that. It is his greatness.
You're not wrong. I can't say you're wrong, but I'm just trying to think I'm going in a particular track, and I just want you to think in the track. Not wrong at all. Not wrong at all, sir. Ashama is saying simplicity and austerity. Pushpama is saying by one's actions. Rajama said the value you give to the world. How small or how big you are depends on, it's determined by what you're pursuing.
Yes.
The fact that you're pursuing Brahman itself, you're great, because you are trying to aspire the greatest, the highest, the best. It is surpassed all goals, all pursuits, and I'm trying to get that. That itself puts me in a different category, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm talking about I'm referring to a conversation. The three of us who went to the Everest base camp trek. You know, when you end of the day, when you go to the tea houses, the modest, simple homes where you have shelter and food is given, and then you just rough it out for the night before you head out again for trekking the next day. And it's all so freezing cold, you know, because there's no insulations, there's no thermals, there's no heaters. So it is extremely cold. So all the time that you spend when you reach end of the day is in the dining hall, where they have these heaters. They heat up the place, so it's much warmer than the moment you step out of that. So everybody spends as much time there. You're having your drink, your dinner, whatever Wi-Fi you want to connect, you connect there. You connect with the family, if at all you can reach. So you spend time. So invariably you interact with other trekkers. So you bump into other people and you just start exchanging. What are you? Where are you going? Where are you from? And things. I remember there was a person we were interacting. He was from Bangalore. I said, we asked, so where are you trekking? Oh, I'm actually trekking to the summit of Mount Everest. What? We are just trying to reach the base camp. First time we are going to the base camp. And he said, I have already gone to the summit once. I'm going second time to the summit. The fact that a person can conceive to scale the summit, has done it, has doing it again, itself puts him in a different league altogether. As a trekker, I'm talking. I'm also a trekker. We all took the same, all of them who want to take the summit have to trek the same path until the base camp, and then they go ahead. It's a base camp of the summit of the Everest. But then we are returning, but those people are going ahead. That means that man has a capacity which I don't have. And that puts him in a different league altogether. The fact that you pursue something greater itself puts you in an exclusive league. And then he said, I am the first person from Karnataka to have summited Everest. My God, that puts him in another different category altogether. The fact, so I'm talking only with reference to trekking. That is not everything in life. Is that the life's purpose to summit Mount Everest? That is not the life's purpose. If that is your life's purpose, please do so. That is not my life's purpose. That is not, I'm saying it is only purpose. If you're doing businesses, you say, oh, I am either you belong to the millionaires club or the billionaires club. There are people who belong to the billionaires club. The fact that you belong there, oh my God, you're of a different league altogether. There are people who do startup businesses. They're of a different league. So every aspect, and somebody says, I want to get there. The fact that he's able to conceive the thought. Remember, the law of life is, Vasantama, what is the law of life here? Don't tell there are many laws. Last week we discussed many laws, but what's the law of life in the context? You're not able to? Try now, Ma. Ah. What is the law of life?
You achieve what you aspire, your aspiration should be.
What is your aspiration?
To realize self-realization or whatever goal. We need to have a goal.
But if you need to have a goal, you need to aspire to reach that goal. But what's the law which establishes what we are saying? Your greatness is determined by what you are pursuing, which means what's the law of attachment, Ma? As you think, as you think, so you become. Your greatness is just merely defined by your thinking. Can you think big? That's all we are saying. Can you think of conceiving the goal? Can you dare to think of conceiving the goal of realization? There was a time I didn't understand the definition of realization. And today I'm not afraid of saying, I want to reach that goal of realization. I may fall short of it, way short of it. Never mind. I want to get there. What harm does it take for me to even say that I want to get there? Is any harm? Oh, I can't think that way, but my life is full of attachments, samsaram. I'm interested in my children, grandchildren, my family, my life, my work, my charity, my this. How can I think of realization? You have lost it in your thought itself if I think that way, isn't it? I have lost it even before attempting it. If I say no, nothing, my family is not going to bind me, my children are not going to bind me, my own limitedness, my stupidity is not going to bind me. I want to get all that to get there. All is avidya. I want to gain that self through vidya. Just to think, that thought itself is so profound and powerful that I keep thinking that way, invariably I'll become it. And instantly you are amidst that people. You are surrounded by people who will feed that thought. You will be fed by people who will boost that thought. And invariably, it is a thought that creates that respective pasture for your action, as I said earlier. So if I have the thought of Brahman, I'm creating the pasture for the fodder for Brahman. And then what is fed? The desire for Brahman is fed. The thought for Brahman creates the pasture for Brahman, and then the fodder for Brahman is fed. And then what is fed? Brahman is fed, which is the desire for Brahman is fed. And what happens? I reach Brahman. It all starts with a thought. Starts with a thought, then the pasture, then the fodder, then the desire is fed, then you attain the goal. Correct, RM? What's the confusion with the thought flow?
Guruji, I thought the thought would be the fodder.
No, yeah, thought, but what thought creates is the pasture.
Yeah, the pasture is the desire.
No. Pasture is the environment.
Environment, okay.
Pasture is that land where you go and graze, no?
Yes.
And the food is the respective stimuli is given. So there is a thought. Let's put the heads first. Thought, then the pasture, then the fodder, then the desire is fed, you achieve the goal. 5 steps we are saying.
Sure.
So the thought of Brahman, first step. The thought of Brahman creates the pasture. What is the pasture? This satsang. This satsang, your desire to gain this spiritual knowledge has brought you into this fold of the satsang. Create an environment. What's the third?
Fodder.
What is the fodder?
The
The
thought.
knowledge from the Guru. The food for thought, which the Guru gives you, the text gives you, the environment gives you. You go to an ashram, a conducive environment where you go and soak in what the environment gives. And once you get the fodder, what happens? The desire in you is fed. The desire to gain the knowledge of the Brahman is fed. And then what happens? If you keep continuing that, you reach the 5th stage where you reach the goal. And all of this will strengthen, as Setuji is saying, mumukshatva, which is what I said, thought. How strong is a thought will set this process. So if I can think and roar to the world that my goal is this, my goal is self-realization and I'm inspired, I want to get there, everything else will follow, because you are ordering everything around you to behave as per my thoughts. I am the master of my thought, and if I hold on to this thought, everything around you must happen. In the Gayatri Maha, will it not happen? It has to happen. The world only gives you, what is the law which supports it? Maniji, what is the law which supports this? If I say Brahman, everything around me must be provided for Brahman. What is the law which supports it? Any idea, Maniji? No idea. Pushpama, any idea? I'm afraid your voice is very low, ma. Can't hear you.
I'm not able to get to it.
Ma, I'm only saying, when I keep saying something, if I entertain a thought very seriously, everything else happens, isn't it? For example, I had a very serious thought of getting to the Everest base camp. That thought, everything made it happen. The experience became a reality, isn't it? Those who wanted to come came along with me. The whole experience became a reality. If the thought was not strong or the thought did not exist, would I land up there in that experience? No, it's not possible. So what we are saying is, who is the commander in all of this is not the world, it's you. You entertain a thought, the world around you will make it happen. There is no thing that, oh, I want it, but still it's not happening. It only means you don't want it seriously enough. That's all it means. If you seriously want it, it'll happen. Like every now and then, yesterday we were working on some matter, editing a matter. And in that, we are saying, the Wisdom Foundation envisions a wisdom academy, a campus where this knowledge will be taught for those who will reside in an ashram environment. That is the vision which I'm envisioning. And if I am true to that thought, it is bound to happen. Who and how and why and when is not the point. It'll happen. Any thought, if you entertain it with the purest of integrity and make it, it'll happen. Without any malice, just say it'll happen. Now, what is the law? The law is Demand and supply. The world is merely a supplier. The supplier has no choice when you have paid for the order and you say better supply. You ordered something from Amazon. You ordered a book from Amazon. You have paid it. They said they would deliver it. Within 2 days, it will be at your doorstep, sir. 2 days have passed. 4 days have passed. 1 week has passed. What will be your approach to them? They say, man, where is my thing? I've paid it. Where is my supply? Where is my material? Where is my book? You have paid it. You are the authority. The world has no say if you place a demand. The law of demand and supply. This is not my law. This is a law which exists in every aspect of life. You command, you demand. So the demand is you have to be worthy enough to entertain the thought. The thought is to think big. So when we come in study of the scriptures, the subject matter of the Shastras is only Brahman. And when they talk of the glory of Brahman, you invariably soak in that thought. You invariably imbibe the thought. And the least we got to do is the rest of the day, don't quibble and quarrel with the world. And now let not the thought of Brahman get diluted. Let not get carried away with other maze of thoughts and the Brahman gets insignificant. So retain that purity of thought by creating a sanctified space where the thought of Brahman gets restored. If that is not done, the thought of Brahman gets diluted. So the greatness of a person is measured by the greatness of your thought, by what you want to become, what you want to aspire, where you want to go. That itself defines how great you are. Yes, Setuji, if you think you want to mention it, you can mention. Or is it too premature?
Since you said that knowledge, you can academy and all that, so it's a step towards that appropriately.
Right. I didn't have that thought in mind, but okay.
Broad plan.
Okay, I think there's something that we are coming up with a opportunity for those who seriously want to seek this knowledge, rather than just being 1 hour a week weekend. We are in the process of announcing very soon a wisdom e-course, which will be a 2-year online course, which will be every weekends, for a Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday, where you will get the various texts that is taught in a curriculum as a course you get for 2 years, and that is being planned out. And also those who are keen to pursue a residential course in the given facility at the institute also will be provided for. So this is only, we believe it's a humble stepping stone towards the larger vision of having a campus where a full-time residential course can be conducted. For now, we have a limited residential facility, as you all are aware. But to begin with, we will be running this e-course soon. So that's what Setuji was referring to, you know. Anything that I'm missing or anything that you want to say, Setuji? This has been there very much in the back of my mind, and some of them have been sharing or reiterating these thoughts, and it is about to fructify soon, and it will become a reality very soon. You know, so yes, Setuji, you were saying something.
Certificate or diploma course.
Though it could be a certificate course or a diploma course, and there are the finer details that we are all trying to put it together, and we believe it will be out very soon. And it's an opportunity for any one of you to pursue it on a serious note, so that it just steps up the whole thought and intensify the thought of what we are learning now. Otherwise, it just gets dwarfed in all the worldly things that we do. 1 hour a week is a drop, even not a drop in the ocean of your worldly pursuits. You need to reiterate, and that kind of a disciplined pursuit going to strengthen and fortify that which I'm certain means something to you. So this is what is the effort and the opportunity that will come your way, making it convenient as an e-course so that you can attend wherever you are from your own comfort of your own homes. And it will become, we are certain it will become a reality and take off soon. So please await further information coming your way. Okay. We'll conclude, we'll come back soon. Thank you. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.